Hi, guys. Good morning. I'm sorry. Major emergency. All right.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Oh, look at the puppy. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Family, huh? All right. I'm going to wait until everyone gets in here so then I can pull up the lesson plan because I just walked in the door. Okay. So I apologize. You will get credit from 10 o'clock though. Okay. Now, Jonathan, let you guys know what happened. Did I be right back? Okay. All right. Just to make sure. Hello. Everyone's in here. Isara, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone. And you were all ready to go too, huh? So I don't know what happened with, when you guys were sending me those videos, I don't know what happened, but I couldn't bring them up on my phone. Still can't bring them up on my phone when I use the Zip. But Donna goes, well, he could bring them up. And I go, well, I asked him to send it to me on my email because I had no other choice at the time. I said, I wanted to see it. So everybody got the same message. Send it through the email. I didn't get to see anybody's on the Zip web that got sent to me. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
All right, let me just start taking roll real quick and then I will get your lesson plan up. Was yesterday's lesson plan hard to follow, or how about that, the homework? I didn't give you much homework. It was an easy day, don't you think? I spent more time with it on Megan's. That number's a lot better, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I had to go back and find paperwork because apparently they printed it on the following week. And so the week that I had no paperwork for it.
Well,
I
I
had
was
to go
just
back.
confused because for 2 weeks I had the same amount of hours. My time card kept saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I was
So,
like, I'm here.
yeah, I went back and redid the whole thing. So that was my night last night. So I'm gonna fix that and then go back with your time and just address it. So it's all fixed, but it's gotta be put on the hard card now. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. I don't have a lot of people in here today, do I? Good morning. Who did I not? Jasmine, I did say hello to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is Diana here? No. Okay. So did everyone end up calling here, finding out what was going on? Looking for, where is my teacher? I just hope everyone else didn't just forget about it. Okay, I'm gonna switch over. You'll probably still see me like you always do. Okay, but I'm gonna try and pull up our lesson plan, okay? Give me a second here. And then I can share the screen once it comes up. And you know how slow it works here. All right. This one. This one. Okay. come in here. Okay, let Kathleen in. Okay. Copy, let's see what's going on right here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Good morning, Catalina. Sorry I was late there.
Good morning,
today.
Miss Jamie.
Okay, that way I can see everyone's still in there. And I still got to pull up our lesson plan, so let me pull this back. I don't like it so far, you know, and it just sits. Come on. There we go. So some of you had said that you don't get the slides when you do your homework, like when you pull up your study guide or smart notes. No? You don't see, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. When you bring this up, because you can see my screen, correct? When it comes back, is this, do you see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You see where mine says slides right here? You don't have that on your book? When you pull this actual area up?
I have it.
Okay. Is that Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have it
Because I
too.
thought everyone had that, but I'm wondering why some people don't have it. Because in case you miss something, you can always go back to that slide area. It's like right above your study guide or smart notes, whatever they're calling them now. Okay. And you can go through the same information that I'm going through. Don't know what happened. Well, back. Are you guys, yeah, are you frozen? Am I frozen? What happened? All right, I'm going to share this screen again. I'll try it again. Okay. There you go. Let me know when you got this page. Does it come up? Okay. All right. Does everyone have it now? Making sure. All right. So your local shock is going to be like a small shock. All right. It passes through a small part of your body, and it could cause a burn or even a muscle contraction, depending on how strong it is. So you always want to immerse in cool water immediately, and then take the person to the hospital or see a physician if the burn is severe. So I want you to just write in this local shock here. It passes through a small part of the body. Okay. It passes through a small part of the body. Who? I don't know. Okay. And then if you still need to put something else in local shock, you can put, if the burn is severe, take them to a hospital. Okay. That's what else you can write in that one, because it's not real. You don't have to fill out the whole thing. And then in your general shock, it passes through the nervous system, okay, and can cause the heart to stop, okay, muscles to convulse, pretty much, and they can stop breathing. So that first paragraph under general shock, you are going to put that in there, okay. Electricity passes through the nervous system, causing the heart to stop, breathing to cease, and muscles to convulse. That all gets put in there. Now, if you can fit the rest of this in, you're going to just put in number 1 bullet in the 3rd bullet. So that would be break the circuit before touching the person and start CPR until emergency help arrives. Okay, that one needs to be put in there. Because what could happen if you tried to remove them from the current? Your body is got electricity in it. Now it's going to increase the current. So in the textbook, it talks about removing it with a broom, but our brooms are kind of metal and aluminum, so I wouldn't use those. Something wooden or a pail or something, but not anything that might increase the current, okay, to get somebody off that current. Okay. How's that? You're still filling that in? Okay, and that very bottom one is your ground fault circuit interrupter, which is known as the GFCI. Okay, and it will sense a current leakage and interrupt the power if there is contact with water. This is an outlet that's near water. It will have an actual shutoff on it, an automatic one. So normally in class, I would take you over to the sink and show you where that little outlet is so that you would know what the ground fault circuit interrupter looks like. Okay, and it just shuts off the power in case water gets inside there so you don't get shocked. So let me know when you have your local and general shock in there. There's a little thumbs up. Got one from Alex. Sorry, did you get that in, hun? Got one from Catalina. Araceli. Good, Sarah. All right, if you're still writing, let me know. Okay, I'm going to turn the page then. Okay. All right. Not just going straight into this. So we're not even going to put this stuff on there because at the bottom of your book, it has safety, correct? So it says to free someone who is being shocked. The first block is not the person out of the circuit using an insulator. So that's what you're going to put in there. Not the person out of the circuit using an insulator. Because this is still on page 177. Okay, you're not having to put this fire one up, that's a little too soon, okay? I'm trying to give you the first part of it where it says safety. To freeze someone? Okay, the second block is unplug the appliance and stay out of the circuit. You guys still need those? Yeah, Alex? Okay. The third one is to turn off the circuit breakers at the power box. And I'm going to go back a little bit because this is where your ground fault circuit interrupter is, okay? So this is that place where you would have put this right here, that ground fault circuit interrupter. Has everyone got this part? Yeah. Okay. Now this is going to go back down where you have the fire. It is fire prevention, the bottom of your page. And the first one's going to be to use and store flammable materials properly. Okay, that's your first one. The second one is to post and comply with your local fire codes. Your third one would be inspect the fire safety devices such as the extinguishers. And then your last bullet is going to be to dispose of or repair electrical equipment with frayed or exposed wires. Okay, that finishes off that page right there. Okay, I'm going to ask anyone in here to see if they were paying attention. Do you know where the fire extinguisher is in the esthetician department? Anybody remember? No. Okay. There are a couple of cabinets in that lab, right, where I pull out supplies, right? I'll pull out your dermalogica stuff. Okay, and you know which one I call the closet, the door behind it? It's like on the sink side. It's right between the sink and that door on that little wall right there. That's where your fire extinguisher is at. Okay, has anyone ever had to use one before? No? Okay, because we're going to go through that also. We just have to make sure that everything's intact. And we usually have someone coming in like 3 times a year that checks the fire extinguishers, and they actually have to sign off on it. And you will too when you have one in your salon, just to make sure that it's still in working condition and you're not stuck without some type of fire extinguisher. Okay. So no one needs the rest of this, right? Okay. I'm moving on to the fire extinguisher on the next page. So in the event of a fire, okay, the first 2 blocks are immediately pull the cord from the socket while wearing protective covering such as rubber gloves. Gloves are used because you don't want to get that chemical on your hands. Okay, and then it says immediately locate and use the fire extinguisher. That's your second one. All right, and then at the bottom of that one, it's in the event of being trapped in a smoke-filled room or building. Okay, that first block is you want to open the windows for air. The next column would have said stay low to the ground and exit immediately if possible. Third one is to check all doors for heat and signs of fire before you open them. Because if you open them, you're adding oxygen to the fire, so there's an explosion that could happen. I'm sure there's a couple of movies out that you guys have seen, right? Backdraft, or a couple of fire ones where they really explain why they check the doors first for heat. 911, I think, and there's like a couple of Chicago fire. Those kind of shows can actually give you some interesting tips on in case you have a fire in your home. All right. Has everyone got this page on their book filled in? No? Okay, I'll wait. Am I missing someone? Is Raquel here and Diana, huh? Okay. Hold on just a second, please. Go ahead. Right there, okay. Hold on. Okay, has everyone filled that part in? Good, okay. So we're gonna finish this onto the next page. All right. So this is going to go down to the bottom. Now, if you still have two boxes at the bottom of that first column, do you? Underneath, like checking all the doors, right? You have two boxes left. If you do, this next box is going to say open the door slowly after feeling it. And then the last box in that little diagram right there is going to say dial 911. Because you want to put like wet towels or anything down there so it will help you breathe a little easier. All right. When you go below to the next part of this, it says fire extinguishers and it says necessary part of the skincare center. That's going to be your first block. Okay. Remember, electrical fires cannot be put out with water. That's your second one. They should be installed 4 feet from the floor in areas where there's a potential hazard and near an exit. So our exit is right in the hallway. Okay. And the reason why it's put 4 feet from the floor, it's a lot easier because the fire starts on the bottom and moves its way up. All right. And your last one is to position it in areas where the chemicals are kept, usually like in the kitchen. Or in our case, we have some under the sink, we have some in the lab, in the main lab where the dryers are at. So we have a fire drill here every once in a while just to practice and where the student's supposed to go. I always used to say, don't go through the laundry room because there's going to be fireworks in there. Everything's going to go up and it'll be all sparkly everywhere and color will be everywhere. And it's like, yeah, you don't want to go anywhere where there's going to be chemicals out that door. So those are your 4 little boxes that you put in. I remember working for my uncle he owned one of those fireworks stands that come out like for a week before 4th of July. In the middle of the summer, it's hot, and somebody threw a cherry bomb inside there, and we all had to scatter to get out of there, and the whole stand went up. So it was quite pretty, but it wasn't, really wasn't that much affordable to have my uncle lose all that money, but yes. Do you know those people buy fireworks like in July of the year before usually, or Christmas around that time? Okay, has everyone got that in there? You got it in, hun? Okay. All right, so moving on down. Okay, this is the inspection that you're going to do. Sorry, I don't know, I don't have internet here. There we go. Okay, am I going in and out with you guys? Because the whole screen's like going crazy on me. Here we go. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna log out and log back in because it's turning on and off all by itself. So if you can hear me, that's what's gonna happen. Sorry. Did anyone else get bumped off or just me? Everyone's like frozen.
It's just you.
It's just me? Thanks. Okay. All right, Catalina's still back in here. You know what I'm gonna do though, because I don't want to have you sit on here this entire time. I'm gonna give you your 10-minute now, okay? Well, I can bring up the program, okay? Instead of have you waiting, and then by the time the program comes on, you're gonna have a break anyways, okay? Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay, so I'll see you back here. What is it? 10:56. Okay, let's just say 10 after. Okay, that way we can have this set up. I don't know what's going on with the computer, but all right. So see you back here at 10 after. Okay. All right. Thank you, you guys, for being patient. Hi, Sarah. One of those mornings. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Believe me, before I had a morning this morning too. It was crazy. I was surprised I made it on time.
I didn't. Mine's a little nutsier than that. I'm
It
just
happens.
Huh?
It happens.
Yeah, it does. And I even totally forgot about the class when I was glad I was like, come right back afterwards, but it's like, okay, babysitters for adults, okay? You need them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Like, I don't know what to do with her. Oh, somebody's in my apartment, somebody's in my apartment, they're recording everything. I'm like, relax, nobody's recording anything.
Oh no.
Poor thing. She blew a fuse.
Oh my gosh.
And so she thought they were taking over her TV and her phone and everything.
Oh my gosh. So you had to go in and do some damage control there.
Yeah, turn it back on for her. I know you laugh now, but at the time I was like panicking, going, what is she talking about? She's
Yeah, no, I
laughing.
can imagine.
So I was like, oh my goodness. So I get back in here and it was kind of a rush, but I got everything turned on and then it just kept shutting down. I don't know if you could see it, but it kept cutting me off and they would come back on, cut it off, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh yeah, it was weird. It was kept freezing and stuff.
This thing is like sometimes, I don't know if it needs to be heated up in the morning. I'm like rubbing the little keys like this, trying to make it feel better.
It has to wake up
Hey,
slowly.
right. Do you need coffee? Okay. Have we got everybody back in here? We got Megan. She's right there. Okay. You saw, okay, we're all here back. All right. Sorry for that misconfusion there. I am going to give you a little report to do today. Okay. And you're going to pick an inventor, okay, that actually made something for our industry. Okay, so I know it sounds kind of crazy. Oh, which one am I going to pick? Okay, you have a choice of like Ben Franklin, Michael Faraday, Galvani, let's see, Edison. All of those had something to do with, and the last time I did this for some of the other girls, I go, this is what I want you to do. I do want to know what they actually contributed to our field, but give the inquiring minds want to know attitude, okay? Because there was times, because all these inventors were within a 75-year period, so they overlapped a lot of times, okay? And they stole from each other. You're gonna find out. Okay, some of them died broke, okay? Some of them, their wives took off with somebody else. I mean, it's crazy some of the stuff you're gonna find out. And there's like even one that never made an invention in his life, but because he had the money to back it up, he took credit for everything. So yeah, it's kind of scary. So I will give you a list at the end of the day, and then you're going to pick one, and then you're going to actually write a report on it. Like 1 page should be plenty, okay? To give me a little bit of dirt information, because that's what inquiring minds want to know. And then also tell me what it actually does, how did it improve our industry? Okay. All right. We ready to start back up? Yeah. Okay, let me share the screen again, and hopefully it doesn't go nuts. There you go. Okay, this should have been where we were stopping last time. Okay, have you got fire extinguishers on your page yet? Okay. So under your fire extinguisher, this is going to be the Unfire extinguisher inspection, okay? So you have 4 blocks there. You're going to check the pressure indicator to make sure it's green and what they call the ready zone. Ensure that the lock pin is firmly in place. You're going to check that the discharge nozzle is free from obstruction, so there's nothing blocking it. Okay, and then you're going to check for dents, corrosion, or even evidence of tampering. Okay, because it's not going to work very well with that. We look at our cans when we buy canned goods every once in a while to make sure there's no dents in them, because we know that could actually cause a little bit of poisoning in us. But sometimes people don't take into consideration that those extinguishers won't work properly either if they've been dented, which means they've been dropped, okay, or something's happened to them. So all 4 of those go into your fire extinguisher inspection, okay? Where it says you're going to place all 4 of those in there, and when you have that in there, let me know with a thumbs up. And then we're going to figure out how to work a fire extinguisher. Okay. So those of you that might have already finished this, why do you think electricity is a critical resource in the skincare center?
Because you need light, you need to see.
You need lights. The first one, right? I want to see what I'm doing. Okay, and then none of the other equipment that we use we will not be able to use. We won't be able to use a steamer, okay? All the nice things that are going to induce that relaxation for our clients, okay? So we do need electricity in our industry. Even if you choose not to do certain treatments that use electricity, like high frequency or galvanic, but to be honest, it's like, don't be afraid of either one of those. They're going to be your greatest tool if you're one of those people that want to help clear up acne for people. Okay. And nowadays, parents are more aware of their children getting acne and wanting to try and clear it up because they had a bad experience when they were growing up. Either their parents couldn't afford it or they never got to the doctor and they had to live through it. You don't have to live through it anymore. Then again, you don't have to do certain things that the doctor prescribes first. There's always a topical treatment you could start with first. If those don't work, then go see the doctor. So thumbs up when you finally get the fire extinguishers put in. Okay, Alex has got it. Okay, Catalina's got it. Go up here. Sorry, do you have this, hon?
Yeah,
You're still writing? It's okay. Okay. If you need more time, just let me know.
thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Sarah, you got it? Almost? Okay. And I got Araceli. How about you, Jasmine? You still writing? Oh, good. Okay. So I'm going to turn the page here and we're going to go to operating that fire extinguisher. Okay, so you're going to use the acronym PASS. All right, so the first one is pull the pin on the handle. Okay, when you come back in here on tomorrow, I'll actually show you where the fire extinguisher is and how to use it. All right, the A stands for aim the hose at the base of the fire from 6 feet away. S is going to mean squeeze the handle to begin the flow of the chemical. And the other S is to spray the chemical discharge back and forth over the fire. So don't just hold it in one spot. Okay. And if you ever have any doubt whether the fire extinguisher is going to function properly, call the fire department. They will come out and actually show you how to use this. And I miss the fire department because we used to have Fireman Bob come out here during Health and Safety Week and show us, you know, like stay away from this. This is flammable. It was kind of more like he got to explode a lot of things. So we got to go, ooh, ah, but he doesn't do that anymore. I think the poor man passed and they never, you know, incorporated a new program. But it was kind of interesting because he did show us a lot of things we would have not thought about, you know, cautiously and consciously, you wouldn't think about it. Okay, some of you should have this. At the bottom of the page, it has a learning connection. Okay, if you're in your book, it probably doesn't, right? But if you have a handout, it says, okay, fill in the correct answers in the blank spaces to complete the sentences. So I'm going to read them and you're going to give me the answer. So a material that allows electricity to flow through it easily is called a what? Anybody remember?
Conductor.
Conductor, good. Okay, 2, a material that does not allow the flow of current, electric current, is called
Insulator.
Insulator, yes, because it's going to be blocking it. Okay, 3, a reusable device that breaks the flow of current when an overload occurs is called a
Circuit breaker.
circuit breaker. Good. A safety device called a three-wire system is also known as a
Is it grounding wire?
Grounding wire, good. And then 5, a human contact with an electric current causes a
Shock.
shock, good. Okay. So build all of that. All right, so the next part of this is going to be our principles. I think we have to go through review first really quick. Yep, self-check. All right, so we're going to do true and false. Materials that best transport electricity are called conductors. True. Okay, materials that do not allow a current to pass through them are called prisms.
False.
False. Okay, 3, the unit of electrical strength is called an amp.
True.
True. Okay, 4, the unit of electric pressure is called an ohm.
False.
False. Okay. All right. The 2 forms of electric current are known as AC and DC, or AD and BC, or AB and CD, or hot and cold.
AC and DC.
Correct. Okay. The name for the measure of how much electrical energy is being used is called a
What?
watt. Yep. Okay. A reusable safety device that breaks the flow of current when an overload occurs is called a, it's reusable. So that would
Breaker?
be the circuit breaker, yes.
Mhm.
Okay. And then a shock that passes through a small part of the body is called a,
It's a shock.
Local
yeah.
Local
Okay,
shock?
it's a local shock. The way to remember it is local starts with an L, so does little, because a local is a little shock. And then general shock is like a giant shock. So you can remember which one is the stronger one. Okay, they both start with G, general and giant. Okay, here we go. Here are our answers. True, false, true, false. Okay, we got the AC/DC, and yes, we've got watt for energy. Safety device is that circuit breaker, and a local shock is the one that passes through a small part of the body. Okay, so these are face the facts. Electricity is a form of energy that produces light, heat, magnetic, and chemical changes. Do you remember what I gave you as an example for the light, heat, magnetic, and chemical? And I only want magnetic and chemical. What was the example I gave you? Anyone remember? Okay, magnetic is going to be your high frequency tool, right? And your chemical changes are going to be in your galvanic because they're using chemicals to actually alter the skin. Okay, electric current is the movement of electricity along a path called a conductor. Okay, load is the technical name for any electrically powered appliance. And a conductor is a material that allows electricity to flow through it easily. All right, here's more vocab. An insulator is material that does not allow the flow of electric current. Can you give me an example of that? Give you Weber, what else do you think you could use? Glass, distilled water. Okay, these are all things will not allow the current to pass through it. Amp is a unit of electrical strength, kind of like the stereo. Volt is a unit of electrical pressure. And I'm just thinking the volleyball like this because I'm using pressure to get that volleyball over. And ohm is the unit of electrical resistance, because I use that as an example when I ask you to do a client, you're like, oh, I don't really want to do that one right now. So you're resisting. Okay, and watt is a measure of how much electrical energy is being used. All right, your electric current, it comes in 2 forms, AC and DC. Give me an example of an AC and DC current, anyone? Anybody remember? Okay, your alternating current is basically an outlet that we use here at the school, okay? And your DC current, you can think of as a battery because it has a positive and negative terminal, okay? Electrical safety. The safety devices are installed in many appliances and buildings because of the possibility of overloads and short circuits. Okay, that's it on this one. Any questions on that information that we went through? It's basically the basics that you would need for what you're going to be doing in this field as far as electricity. You want to be able to know what the cord is, what the plug is, you know, how to remove them, not to kink them up. You're never supposed to pull a cord by the actual cord. You pull it from the plug itself because what ends up happening is weakening the wires on the inside. Okay, I'm gonna shut this part down. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to bring up part 2, which is known as principles of electricity. So give me a second to bring that up. Excuse me. It's known as electrotherapy. Okay. So it's going to be 6.2, right? Okay. There you go. All right. And again, if you bring this particular area up, your slides will be right here, just the same ones I'm using, and your smart notes are right below that. If you have a textbook, you don't have to worry about that because I'll get your textbook from you before you graduate. So I can make sure you have the information in there. Okay, I'm going to share the page with you. All right. So this is going to be electrotherapy and aesthetics. It's going to cover electric currents, light therapy, effects of electrotherapy, and electrotherapy essentials. Okay. So you should be on page 179, am I not correct? Yes, in your study guide? Okay, you're going to identify, excuse me, go ahead.
This is the principles of electricity?
Yes,
Okay.
okay, sorry, hon. It's going to identify the 4 types of currents, or the word modality basically means currents, because that's a test question. Because everyone goes, I don't know what that word modality means, and it means currents. The 4 types of currents that we use in here are going to be galvanic, high frequency, sinusoidal, and faradic. But in the state of California, you are only entitled to use 2, which are high frequency and galvanic. Okay, but you do need to know there's 4. Okay, you're going to explain the 3 effects achieved by using electricity in aesthetic services, and list the essentials for performing the electrotherapy and light therapy treatments, which will be your setups. Okay, so electrotherapy, this is going to go on page 179. It's the application of special currents / modalities, that should be written like that, and that have certain effects on the skin. Okay, and then there's going to be the 4 types of electrotherapy current that we use, right? We only use 2. It says, alert, a person with any potentially restrictive medical conditions should always consult a physician before receiving electrotherapy treatment. That's why it's so important to do that consultation form prior to the service. Okay, your galvanic current, any type of a question that you have for state board that has the sentence or it has the question in there, electricity and chemicals, your answer is always going to be galvanic current. Okay, that's the real easy one to remember. Okay, it says electricity and chemicals, you know the answer is going to be galvanic current. Faradic current and sinusoidal are going to be causing muscle contractions, which is considered a medical tool. So that's basically why we don't use those, but you do need to know that that's what they do. They cause a muscle contraction. Now, the sinusoidal is a little bit deeper and it's actually deeper penetration and greater stimulation. So it's going to last a little bit longer on a client. So the ferritic, if I'm using it, if I was allowed to, okay, might last for maybe 2 days, but my galvanic might last 4 days, okay, because it goes a little bit deeper and it basically totens up that facial skin. But again, because we can't use it here in California, it's one of those, you have to know what it does, but you can't use it here in California. But you may, you don't know, you may go to another state and they're allowed to use it. So that's why you do have to have some background on it. Now your Tesla, okay, that's the high frequency unit. This is the machine that can be used on oily or dry skin, depending on its application, like how I get it to my client. So my high frequency, which is also known as Tesla current, okay, if I'm using it on oily skin or acneic skin, I'm going to be using what's known as the direct application because I'm directly applying it to the pimple. Think of it that way, okay? Indirect, okay, there's going to be an interruption. So the client's going to be holding the tool, okay? I'm going to be holding the tool and I'm going to be holding her face. So actually the current's going to be coming through my fingers. So all I can do is friction movements because I really can't tap and I can't lift up because you all know that if we do that, we end up shocking our clients, correct? When we break that contact with that current. So dry skin is indirect, oily skin would be direct, okay? Because if you use it one way, it's going to dry up the bacteria and the oil. If you use it another way, it's going to increase oil production on people that have very dry skin, okay? So it's just depending on its application, like applying it to the client's skin, which one you're using. All right, I just wanted to give you a heads up on what all that means, because you will have questions that regard those 4 machines, that's it. All the electrical equipment is right there in front of you. The only
Miss
other
Judy?
thing you, go ahead,
Can you repeat that again? Dry skin is what?
is indirect application. And oily skin is going to be direct application.
Thank you.
Now, one other thing I want you to write next to this, because they're going to ask you what type of current it is using, meaning the electricity. Galvanic is a direct current, okay? But it has a converter in there so we can actually plug it in and use it as an alternating, but you need to know that it's direct current, okay? It's direct current, low voltage, high amperage, okay? That's their definition on it, okay? Faradic, sinusoidal, and Tesla are all alternating currents. Okay, so there's only one that's direct. And that's basically where your questions are going to come from. Okay, is it direct or alternating? And what does it do to the skin? Okay, so if you break it up that way, the currents aren't going to be that scary for you. All right, so electrotherapy, have you filled in that part where it says application of special currents or modalities that have certain effects on the skin? Okay, that goes into the top where it says electrotherapy treatments. They're the treatments that we use that require the use of electricity, obviously. But I want you to get familiar with special currents and modalities being the same word, okay? All right, we're going to move on to electrical currents. Well, it's going through direct galvanic current. Okay, I'll come back to that electric currents in a minute and have you fill that in. But your galvanic current is the only constant direct current of a low voltage, high amperage that will produce an electrochemical effect, okay, also known as ionization. Okay, that's my little lecture for it, but you can put it in here right now as direct current of low voltage, high amperage. This all goes into your study guide. It has electrochemical effects. Underline that electrochemical because that's going to automatically know you're using the galvanic machine. It's the oldest form of electrotherapy, believe it or not. And it's used to force a water-soluble skin product into unbroken skin. It just says skin, but it's unbroken skin. It needs the rectifier to convert the salon's AC to the DC so it can be used. And it causes a chemical effect by passing that current through the acidic or alkaline solution and then passing that current through the body and its tissues, okay? So I want you to put all of that in that little area where it says galvanic current. Okay, the method that we use it for mainly is for deep pore cleansing and for acne clients, okay? Because somebody that's got really bad acne, we can't cut them open and get that, you know, cyst pimple that's coming up underneath the skin, all right? The only way we can do this is to, you know, address it is through electricity somehow. So this is a wonderful tool to help you clear up acne if they can tolerate the electricity. They shouldn't feel anything. Okay. Okay, what it's basically trying to do is to cause these products to penetrate deeper into the layers of the epidermis. Okay, areas where we can't reach with our fingers or our hands. Okay, so I'm going to give you just an example of what they mean by the oldest form of electrotherapy. Because again, as the way we use it nowadays, we're using it to clear up acne. There was a time, okay, because we are using an acidic and an alkaline product with this machine. Usually when you're doing an acne client, you would start out with your alkaline product in the negative force or pole. Okay, when you're finished, you're going to close it down with an acidic product in the positive pole. So this is how you have to remember it. The reason why this particular area of your text, skin and electricity, actually work together in this chapter. It makes more sense with a little bit of chemistry, because your chemistry is going to give you your pH, right? 0 to 7 and then 7 to 14, right? So we have 0 to 6.99 is going to be your acid side of that pH scale, and then 7.1 to 14 is going to be your alkaline side. I think of alkaline being like a soap, so it's going to soften it up, right? Soften the skin up. And then my acid side is going to be like my toner. So if you're scared of this, I'm going to give you a complete example of what this is. It's cleansing the face and toning it, but we're using electricity to do it. It's no more different than that, okay? So don't think of it as being really difficult, because we cleanse and tone, right, in a facial, manually doing our hands. This one's going to use electricity. So what they used to do, they used it to bleach skin, because we didn't have skincare products back in the day to actually lighten the skin, let's say from pigmentation. So what they would do is take an orange, and you're going to take an orange where the stem is on the top here. You're going to slice the orange the sideways, and you're going to stick a metal electrode through the back end of the skin, okay? That orange, where the meat is at, is going to be placed onto the skin. You're going to turn your current on, and you're going to work it around. And so the orange actually, or the acid from the orange actually is going to start to lighten the skin. Now everyone thinks, oh, that's such a great idea, I'm going to go and use a lemon. Well, remember, we can only use 3.0 or 30% acid. A lemon is going to be 2. So that's why you won't be able to do it with a lemon, because it could actually burn somebody. We're working in a doctor's field at that point. But that's how they used to use it, is to bleach the skin up. And nowadays, when you go to purchase skincare products, you know how they're all basically color-coded, right? Color-coded. What they have in the bleaching part or the lightening part from pigmentation is the orange. And it comes from the orange that we used to use, okay, to lighten the skin prior to products that we can purchase now. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's like, I'm going to go home and try that little tool. All right. So everyone got all of this written down? All right. I'm going to move to your phoresis. Okay. And I want you to understand what this word means, because you're going to hear anaphoresis and cataphoresis, but I want you to know what phoresis actually means. Phoresis is the process of forcing a water-based acid or alkaline solution into the skin by applying a current to the solution. Okay, so when anytime you see a question that says, I'm putting an acid or an alkaline in, it's always going to be phoresis. If I'm applying only an alkaline product, I'm probably going to be doing anaphoresis, okay? If I'm going to be using an acid, it's going to be cataphoresis. Okay, I just want you to know that the word phoresis just means forcing a solution, acid or alkaline, into the skin by using that electricity. Okay, and it is the most popular application of galvanic current. All right, this is where they get that sometimes referred to bleaching the skin. Okay, but nowadays we do have products, we don't have to use electricity to do that. Because if a client is not, she can't tolerate electricity, you're going to have to do it with a chemical, right? Because she can't have that orange on there. So you're going to have to find an actual product that's for lightening that pigmentation up. Okay. So has everyone got the phoresis in there and understand what the word means? No questions yet? Okay. So we're going to move down to the bottom here, okay, where it says anaphoresis, and it's in a purple, like a little box. And right next to it, it has another little box, so it gives you information to put in there. All right, and we're going to put in there allows an alkaline solution, which we're going to see right here, allows an alkaline solution to enter the skin when assisted by galvanic current and the negative pole of electrode. Okay. I want you to put that in there. Okay, so that goes right on that first box. It allows an alkaline solution to enter the skin when assisted by galvanic current and the negative pole of the electrode. And what it's trying to do is put that disincrustation solution in there to soften the sebum so that the electricity can work on that, so it can make a lot easier to remove the impactions. We call it, this type of phoresis is often used in what's known as disincrustation. And disincrustation is the solution that we're using, right? Okay, so you're going to put in there, disincrustation is a treatment in which the blockages in the skin, such as clogged pores or blackheads, are broken down. We kind of call it a liquefy. Okay, and that liquefaction of this disincrustation solution is known as spaphonification. And I'll spell that one when you're ready. Okay, so disincrustation would be the solution, but breaking down the oil that's on the side walls of your follicle to make it like a liquidy, it's called spaphonification. It's S-P-O-N-A-I-F-A-C-I-O-N. I think. Come back to this here and give you that exact spelling on it, okay? It's one of your key terms, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and the benefits, which is the next part of that block, okay, it's going to soften the tissue. It's going to expand the tissue so it's easier to get the impaction out and increase blood flow and sensitivity. Okay, let me know when you have all of that information in there. Now I need to ask any questions on this particular area of it. Because if you don't answer, don't ask any questions on this, you may not answer it. I just don't want you to feel uncomfortable or like scared of this equipment, because it's going to be your best tool. Okay, you guys kind of like that high frequency because you knew it could zap a pimple, right? that was a real get. Oh yeah, I gotta have one of those. Okay, but this one also can help clear up cystic acne a lot better. And then you just use that high frequency behind it to clean up any leftover bacteria. Okay, but this is going to do the main work. And it seems funny too, because when I'm teaching this, everyone is always scared of the galvanic and they're not scared of high frequency. And I'm like, Okay, but the high frequency makes all this noise to scare everybody. And the galvanic doesn't do anything like that. You can't even feel it. You might taste a little bit of metal in there, but that's about it. Okay, but it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to shock you. All it's going to do is soften up that follicle. Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay, what I want to do is try to do a demonstration on that tomorrow so that you guys can actually see. I might have to do it on a doll, but we'll all at least go through the steps, okay? So that you're not scared. And then when you're ready to actually, we can do clients, you can do it on each other if you choose to. Okay. All right, it's 11:45. I do have to break because I want to make sure that everyone understands the homework assignment. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. Does anybody need this still up on the screen to finish? Let me know if you do. No? You got it all, Alex? Okay, good. Araceli, you good? How about you, Sarah? Okay, good. All right, I'm going to stop sharing the screen there for a minute. So it'll bring me back to you guys. Okay, so your homework's going to be, all right, you're going to finish after the discussion, you had a talking point, correct? So I'm going to share the screen and show you where to find the rest of that information that you're going to do today, okay? So hold on, share this screen. Okay. All right, and I'm going to take this one off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take this one down. Come on. All right, you should be back to this main screen here, okay? So I want you to go back to the back screen here, and you're going to finish on 6.1. Okay, when it comes back up, this is where your homework is going to be. And yesterday you did the discussion, now you're going to do the talking points. Okay, and then you're going to take the challenge at some point. There might be an assignment. Okay, so I'm going to come back over to this screen. Okay, well, it's spinning. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is where we did our slides, right, where it says study slides, right? Okay, and that was where you picked up your smart notes. Okay, yesterday you did the learning connection. Do you remember for your homework? This one right here. Okay, what you're going to do today, excuse me, you did discussion too, didn't you? Those two, about the situation when the lights went out. Did you do that one?
Both.
You did what?
I did both.
Okay, so then you won't have to. If those of you that did not finish both of those, you would have to do the other one. I also want you to go down to here where it says the assignment, okay? And I'm going to show you something. It's going to tell you to go to a flashcard exchange. I don't want you to do that. Okay, what you're going to do is make your own flashcards and take a picture of those flashcards. Okay. So it says go to flashcardindexexchange.com, Quizlet.com, or studyblue.com and create at least 20 flashcards that support the terms found in this lesson. So post a link to your flashcards. I don't want you to do that. Okay, I want you to pick 20 words out of your key terms, okay? And you're going to make flashcards out of them. Whether you do it on a piece of paper and you cut them, you know, in the 5x7, whatever you need to, or if you have flashcards. So you're going to have, on one side, you're going to write the word, the other side, you're going to have the definition, okay? And you're going to bring those in tomorrow, those flashcards, okay, in order to get credit for them. All right? Does everyone know how to do that now? You're not going to this up here. You're just going to make your own flashcards using the key terms that you had yesterday. Okay? Because we're going to play a little game with it tomorrow. All right. Does everyone understand that part? Okay, then you're going to scroll down. Excuse me. Go back up here. I'm going to have to go to the challenge. Sorry, going back to the main screen. It would be so nice if it moved so much faster. Okay. So you're going to go all the way to the bottom, okay, where it says lesson challenge. And this one happens to have 7. So you're going to open this up. Okay. And you're going to answer all 7 of these, okay, questions. All right, when you get to the bottom, it's going to say submit test. Remember, the only thing you're submitting to me always is just the test, this challenge right here, okay? Any other work that I ask you to do, you're just going to take a picture of it and send it to me through the text message, okay? This one, you just have to hit submit when you're finished, okay? Does everybody understand that? I know it gets kind of confusing because some of them will say submit, 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 and I don't want you to do anything like that, only on the challenges, okay? All right. Now, I'm going to list names of inventors, okay, that had something to do with our industry, how they made it better, or what they were trying to do, or something like that. And you're going to use the title, Inquiring Minds Want to Know. Okay, Inquiring Minds Want to Know what's the dirt behind all of that. Okay, you're also going to tell me about this inventor, you know, where he came from, how he stumbled upon this, you know, invention that he's using for us. Okay, I will list that right after I close this out. I'm going to get on and do your zip whip and send it to you and tell you which ones you can actually try to do. Some of you may have done this another time, but you're going to be doing another one this time, okay? So you're going to write it out. Page should be fine. Take a picture and send it to me, but bring the picture in, or like the report tomorrow, so we can discuss it also, okay? All right, so thumbs up if you do know what I'm talking about, so I can send you, good, okay, Alex, Catalina, you got it? Megan? Okay, Araceli, you got it? Okay, good. And then, let's see, okay, Sarah's got it. All right, good. Okay, everyone's got it. So are there any questions on today's homework assignment? All right, I will let you go. If you need to ask me questions after everyone leaves, just stay online, okay? And I'll wait until everyone's offline before I close the window, okay? All right, I will see you guys tomorrow when you get here, okay? All righty, bye you guys.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Okay, stop that one. Okay. All right, Araceli, excuse me, Araceli. You want me to explain it again?
Yeah, please. No,
Okay.
because you know, already I have chapter 6 and I need to do one more, the flashcard and
Yeah, you can just take a picture of the flashcards that you did, but bring them in tomorrow.
okay.
Okay. All right, and then you're going to write a report on an inventor. Okay. You can use, why don't you do Nikolai Tesla. He's really interesting because he did our high frequency machine. Okay. So I will send you a link just to him. Okay. And you're going to give me the story behind it. Okay. How he came to invent the machine that we now use today. All right. You just have to go online and look up Nikolai Tesla, the inventor.
Okay.
Okay. Then you write a report for it, a page, and then you're going to turn it in and bring it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, Araceli, do you have questions, honey?
Yeah. Are you gonna send us names so we can
Yes,
choose? Okay.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, so it's just a report, 1-page report.
Right,
Okay, and then the
Okay.
flashcards we can
And the-
pick from the key terms.
correct.
So you want the word and the definition on the back?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Majini.
All righty. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay. All right, bye-bye.